right. How's everybody doing? Um, Going back into our accountability list. This week I am in North Florida, so I'm out of town. I'm in a hotel room, feel like some weird blue couch. Not in my shop or in my truck like last week, so forgive that. That was no fun. And I listened to the video afterwards. You can hear all that exhaust drone coming through from that Cummins. It's brutal. But yeah, we're in a hotel this week, working in North Florida. I'm hoping to. I should get home tomorrow, so that's good. Swamped with work, but we're making the best of it. Trying to fit these videos in wherever I can squeeze them in. I'm in a little time crunch, like always here. So I still want to help people, though. I hope that these actually help people to see what I'm working on every week and how I'm trying to improve my entire life as a whole. And I hope that it might help someone else, or many others, truthfully. That's the goal behind this. So I think if you'll bear with me on the patience of, it being shorthanded on time, but I think that the value should be there from just showing the work and knowing I really don't have time to do this, but I'm making the time to do it in hopes of benefiting someone, multiple. I'm going to hop into my accountability list this week. For last week, today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday evening. I'm in from work. I actually had a good chance to get my second workout in before I hit the road, so it's not even incredibly late. I think it's only 9:30 or something reasonable, which is great. I still have some invoicing to do and business stuff to do tonight, but I'll do the best I can, just like I do every day. Try to kick butt and keep producing every day. And no, a business is not ran in any of the growing years from 9 to 5, in my opinion, unless you're very skilled and dedicated, but I can't do it. Especially trying to do the work, invoice the work, do the administration, order the parts, blah, blah, blah. I don't think anyone running their own team is doing that. And I think that it actually gets worse until you get a really serious team behind you. And we're going to get into a team tonight in a different conversation after the accountability buckets. I want to hop into that. Like I said, it's Tuesday night. I want to talk about last week's accountability. Last week we had a pretty good week. I had a super busy week because I think I worked in Miami 2 days, and then I worked in Miami again 2 more days. I had a full shop day on Monday working on Austin's T-top, which I don't know if you follow me on Instagram. I'm SFL Welding on Instagram, and I put a lot of my stories on that. Put a lot of my work stuff in my stories just so people can kind of see what it is we do. That was in there. And then so Monday, 2 days in Miami doing substation work. So we had a busy work week this week. And as a husband this week, I was gone working most of the time and going to the gym, but I did have we did get to go take a day on Thursday and go out on the boat and really enjoy the family and play with Emily and all that. We had good weather, so that was a good time. As a husband throughout the week, I think I was mediocre because I just wasn't around. Presence is so important in it. Being present when you're there is one thing, but when you're just not there at all, you can't win that battle. You're not there, so that's kind of tough. Father, I like same thing lack there. As being a dad, you can't make up for not being there. But I actually had a rock star time that I was there. Thursday, like I said, we did on the boat. Monday, when she was home, we did a lot of playing while I was working on and off. Thursday, we did a lot of playing and fun stuff, and then through the weekend, I think I worked Saturday full day. Yeah, I worked until I get up till 8 or 9. Sunday, I took her bowling. Me and her had a daddy girly day, and that was awesome. We actually had a fantastic day. I think we went to the bowling alley, and we got home late for dinner, and we just had a blast. And my daughter's 2.5 bowling on the dinosaur. She had one game that was like 70, and the second game she actually had 100 and had 3 spares, which is pretty cool. And I lead bowl, so to me it's kind of, that's something I enjoy doing. Work-wise, busy all week. We had a full pole. I took off half a day on Thursday to take the family out on the boat, And the trade-off on that was that I had booked Friday and Saturday. So I worked in the rain Friday, Saturday to have a sunny day on the boat on Thursday. It worked out really well. The work I was doing was on a loader bucket, so I could build some structure, get me a tent, and actually fight through the weather and enjoy the sunny boat day with the family. So that worked really well. Business development, which is what everyone calls biz dev. Business development is a term, you'll hear that everywhere as biz dev. And that is me trying to grow this business and the second business, and we made zero progress this week on that. I haven't even had a chance to review the website edits that have come to me to look at, so haven't really made any progress there, I'm not gonna lie. Need to do better there, just lack of time poverty. Full week of work, long hours, doesn't lead to a bunch of production in other areas, so that's a goose egg there. Self-development, that was great, honestly. The more I drive, travel, and work, when I'm welding, I generally have a podcast in my ears and my earbuds to try to block out grinder noise and all that anyway, as long as I'm not working with people. So I rarely ever listen to music anymore. It's always a book. I chew through audiobooks, I chew through podcasts. I am absolutely consuming a lot of material. My memory can't keep up with the material that I consume, and a lot of it comes to me later in the day or comes back later on. But the self-development's doing great. I'm reading, a guy mentioned this last week, I think I'm in a book called Multiple Streams of Income, and I'm really enjoying it. Now it's into infopreneurs, and I really don't care for that much. Not my book expertise, but I really enjoyed the stock market and the real estate parts, and I'm hoping there's going to be some more enjoyable parts to that book soon. My fitness side kicked butt pretty much all week. I'll rephrase that. Last Saturday I could finally run again. It was either Friday or Saturday. I don't remember. It was Sunday. It was Sunday because heading to work late. I didn't have to be there. I didn't have to be down south right away, and I had a better weather report a little bit later in the day. So I was running, and I could finally run again for the first time in I think a week, because I had this lat pain up in here in my side. It was like getting stabbed every time your foot hit. So it felt so good to run that I ran 6.5 miles, which was awesome. But the downfall is I ran until I had some knee pain, and I ran through some knee pain, which actually in this bone over here, not so much in my knee, which I didn't think anything of. I was like, oh, no big deal, it'll be fine tomorrow. Well, unfortunately, I haven't been able to properly run since. So what I've learned again, which is not the first time I've done this, I do this repetitively, hopefully I actually did learn this time, is I really need to stick to a smaller distance and less increase. Like if I can do 3 to 4 miles a day safely, I need to continually do that 3 to 4 miles and just keep my growth around a 10% distance growth. That way I'm not hurting myself. And that 10% is per week. So that way, if you ran 3 miles this week, you should run 3.6 for the next whole week. And if you run 1 mile, you should run 1.2 miles next week. Just as a really gradual increase. And when you're running 4 miles, you might only increase 2%. You might really need to slow down and do it gradually for people in my poor condition. People that can run, do what you do. But I need to take it a little bit slower and remember that the tortoise always wins the race over the hare every time. And I have to grasp the reality that me pushing it to 6.5 miles was really cool. It stroked my ego, which really doesn't help anything. It felt great. It proved that I could do it, but it also proved that I couldn't do it regularly or not hurt myself. So I need to stick to a pace that is an increase that is more gradual and work up. What it's done is actually robbed me from running every day since. The first day after, I don't even think I could run a half mile. And I think yesterday was 3 or 4 days later, and I could barely get a mile in yesterday. I made it 8/10, and the pain got terrible. Like everyone's bad. I'm really good with pain, so at least in my opinion, maybe I'm a sissy, but I don't think that I am. I also don't want to hurt my knee where I can't work. My main focus is running businesses, building growth and wealth for our family. that's a priority I look at over fitness. I mean, we need to have some balance between the two. So I need to do that slower. My lifting has been good. I also overdid some arm work and have some pulled muscles in here, but that's really minor. They're just angry. Not a big deal. I'm sure that'll heal. Also, need to take it easy and not try to grow so fast. Don't run before you can walk. So I need to just slow down and realize I'm a rookie at all of this fitness stuff. Kind of take it easy a little bit and just grow at a slower pace. My discipline has been excellent this week, in my opinion. I could have done a little better at dinner tonight. I ate some chips with salsa, which is okay, but my discipline there has been very good. My diet's been pretty good all week. Something I absolutely realized today, I was talking with a buddy of mine, and we're like, man, we don't have fun like we did when him and I were talking. We said, oh, when we were broke, life was just so much easier. But I don't really think it was that we were broke or not broke. I think we had more fun just because we were younger and we were constantly doing things together as a group, constantly having fun, regardless of our work situations or any of that. We would put work on hold. I think just as youth, you just can delete work out of your mind and just have fun together. And we used to do all this racing together and drifting, and him and I were like, today, what we need more fun in our life. And I've said today, we joked between the two of us, because he's familiar with the bucket theory. He's like, you need to make the fun bucket huge. That needs to be a barrel. And I was like, that's it. The fun bucket needs to be a 55-gallon drum, and we need to try to keep this thing full, because like for us, that's our mental health. He's very similar to how I am. And that's like our way of, we're sanity, that you got to have fun. You got to be filling that fun bucket. If not, you're going to go nuts. So I had fun with the kid this week, and I had fun on the boat. That was it. The rest was work. Work was still good. It wasn't super stressful stuff. It was all just kind of physical work stuff, not drowning in stress stuff, which is good for me. So that's a struggle. So that's a good thing. I want the fun bucket to be a 55-gallon drum, and we want more fun. That'd be good for the family, good for everyone. I want to talk to you about team. I need to build a team. Obviously I'm always talking about I'm in time poverty, and the only way to fix that is to get people that kick butt and get people at your side that are going to do some of the things where I'm struggling in completion. And buy back your time. Dan Martell, that's for you. He wrote a book called Buy Back Your Time, and he has a whole breakdown of it. It's awesome. I highly recommend you read it. Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. Solid information. He's a stud. So what I want to say is, as I'm going through thinking about who I want, my last employee was awesome. He missed some of the work skills that we needed. We could have grown that. But where he lacked, he didn't think he wanted to be in our field forever. So that he didn't have the motivation to learn something that's going to take a year if you're not going to be in it for long term. And I didn't have the motivation to teach him those things, because I felt like it was a bad investment if his heart wasn't in it long term. Then that's some of those people that say they're not going to be in it for long term, they end up there for 30 years, and then some are out in 6 months. So, but he did end up moving on to a sales position. I love the kid. He's a great kid. Great young man, and he's kicking butt in his new position and learning, so that's awesome. But I'm thinking about who I want and what do I want. And I was listening to a podcast the other day, and it was, you don't want anyone on your team that doesn't want to win. And you want winners. If they have the mentality of, oh, it must be nice, that's not the person you want to surround yourself with. I want the dude that wants to crush it just as much as I do. And even if if he's an overachiever and he ends up moving on, that's okay. I'm going to support him in moving on wherever he goes. Even just like JC that left, I supported him moving in the forward direction. I actually told him, hey, there's no better time for you to try a new career than where you're at right now in life. In his situation, he had low financial responsibility at this moment in life. I'm like, dude, go test the waters right now. It's never going to get any easier to jump ship with less stress. So I want winners on my team. You want killers on your team. You want to pick those people that have the drive, and you have to stimulate that drive as well. You have to be a killer. They have to be a killer, and you want to build off each other and have the right vibes. And if you get people in your team that have the wrong vibes on a larger scale, they're going to tear everyone else down. Remember, everyone around you is yoking you in one direction. They're either yoking you up or yoking you down. That's an old biblical term from about marriage, and I 100% yoke my wife down, at least in the religion category for sure. In the belief area, I yoke her down there, and I think I might bring her up in the business category. So we kind of balance each other out a little bit there. But that's nonetheless, but you're always being pulled in one direction. So if you're building a work team, you need to pick studs and you need to work through and come up with core values that are non-negotiable to filter these people out. And I've been thinking about that this week. I need to make core value lists and really stick to it on the next hire and hope that they're a good fit. I really need to hire. I could probably use 2 people on most days. I can use 2 people. I have intention of getting someone to help with videography and editing because I would like to improve this product to the rest of you. Not much product, it's not like it's free. There's no product here. If I could put this information together in a better format and in better quality where it's more enjoyable, maybe with a microphone you can hear better and a better camera and all this, not on a cell phone, that would be great. It might be more enjoyable to you guys and it edit out all my mistakes and bloopers and ums and ahs. So that's my thought. But anyways, your team, you want to surround yourself with killers, man. If you then must be nice people, that's never going to make it. That's not it. That's not the people you want. So keep that in mind as you're going through. Core values are so important. If you have a candidate that checks 70% of the boxes, but their core values don't match, you have to really tough decision of, do you think you can change their beliefs in these areas? Which we all know that change is hard. I'm changing right now. We have to prove whether that's permanent in the grand scheme. Changing people's heart. You really want people that can, I can align with those values. That's the way to go. I want to talk to you a little bit about business now. Even business, anything you do in life, you should be trying to provide a value to someone else. Even if there's nothing in it for you in the moment. I'm starting to realize everyone has always talked about this. If you do any self-development, it's been in there for the last 10 years. Everyone's been talking about this and I never got it. I read it, I read the content, I listened to the content a million times, but I never grasped the concept. I was always chasing the money, just like chasing after a dog. And I literally came to this realization today. The more you chase a dog that doesn't want to be caught, the more it runs from you. The more you chase money hard, it may run from you if you're not in the right pretenses. So when you're in business and you're grinding, your priority needs to be the value for the customer, doing the right thing for the customer. In the grand scheme, you're going to win 10 times more. Always going to be better off in the long term, providing a better product, better service, just being a better person than you are making the short end and going for the buck. Now, I was ever a money grab person, but I may have lacked in customer service in certain areas and things of that nature. So keep that in mind as you go through life. And how can you improve your value to other people? Bring the shopping cart back. Hold that door for that person. Be a better person across the board, and you're going to see it improve in business and lifestyle and money and everything else. And it just goes, it's another one of these that the more I learn in self-development is that these things affect everything. And it's wild, honestly. It's also wild that I'm 38 and I'm just now figuring out a lot of the stuff that I've read and I've read it, I've heard it, I've done everything, but I haven't actually thought about the material and thought about what it does to your mindset and your actions and how to improve there and if it matters, and it does matter. It absolutely matters. I don't have anything else on my list today, but I have something else I want to talk about. A buddy of mine, he's on 75 hard right now. He's going through it and he's having a crappy day. Work didn't work out. He's behind on exercises and he's been doing exercises at night when he's not sleeping. And anyone that's done it, I can tell you that you're gonna have some really bad positions, and you're gonna, unless you have a scheduled job, and like a 9 to 5 would be unbelievable. I would have all the time in the world. But if you have he's running a business as well. You're in this situation and you get into time poverty, and he's just having a tough day. And I told him, I was like, quit being a bitch. I was like, do the work harder, sleep less. Those were my answers in the instinct. And then I went to the gym a couple hours later, and it finally came to me, and I was like, the answer, I had to call him back, and I called him back, and I was like, the right answer for that conversation. And he's like, yeah, I want to hear it. And I was like, what I should have told you, and it should have been instinct in my head, was do a gratitude session. Go think about the things you're grateful for in life. Spend 3 minutes. A good gratitude session is, 4 minutes, 5 minutes of thinking about the things you're grateful for. And I'll do one with you right now, right here, so you have a little idea of how it goes in my mind. I try to do this daily. But anyways, I'll do it right after. And then, so I went through it with him, and I was like, what are the things you're thankful for? You have a phenomenal life partner. She's a rock star. She'll turn her world upside down for you in a minute. She's got your back on 100%. Average people, a lot of people would die for that. You got a business you're working on. Yes, it's an absolute nightmare, but you got this. You got air conditioning to sleep in. You got food. We have cars. We have all this stuff. We have health. We have all our limbs. I know a guy that is doing an Ironman with no legs. I think he's amputee from the knee down, and he's whooping people with legs in an Ironman. I was like, how much more grateful can you be? And he was like, dude, you're absolutely right. He's like, the things I'm dealing with are just frustrations, and right now, and what the point is of this is that when you're frustrated, you're anxious, you're over it, sit down and think about all the things you're grateful for. And a great time to do this is in the morning. It will immediately fix your day. If say you're irritated or whatever in the morning, just do it every day in the morning. And if you're not there yet, when you have a problem, do it. Spend 5 minutes in gratuity. If you pray. Yeah, God, I'm grateful for this. I'm a God man as much as I curse and drink, and I'm not perfect in many other areas, but I am a God man. I believe in God, and I gratuity kind of goes hand in hand with prayer for me. Just you do you, but that's kind of how it works for me. But gratuity for me is like, I'm so grateful for my wife, my health, my kids, their health. We have businesses, we have financial security. We have all of these things and I can go through this for 5 minutes, and then how can you be upset after that? We have it so well in this country with health, or at least I do right now. I'm super grateful for it. And I want to bring that to everyone's attention, that will solve a lot of your bad moods where you could be in a funk for a day, 2 days, 2 hours. I do it, and I don't think to fix it myself, so I'm telling you to do it, and I'm hoping I'm going to do it more. So I'm going to be accountable to fixing my attitudes. Control your controllables. This is a way to control this. You get in a funky mood, your guys ruined this, and job went south and did that, whatever the case. Gratuity, fix it in 30 minutes, get back to being a highly productive member of society, and you might be able to enjoy your day at 4 o'clock because you're functioning higher. Versus me, when I get all messed up, I get anxious, I got a million things on my mind, I'm scattered, things aren't going well. Boom, I might go through the same work that should be 2 hours of work. I'm self-disciplined in doing, I'm doing production welding per se. It might take me 4 hours. I'm distracted, I'm scrolling, phone's ringing, I'm in a bad mood, I can't get in the jam. I got to get in that groove and kick it in that type of work, and it holds me from that. So that's a little trick that might help people. It helps me a lot, and just a little story from there. I missed a bucket thinking about it. Now that I was talking about finance, I missed the finance bucket. So simple again. Our business it's a little tight right now on money, but I know that I'm invoicing every week, and we got full weeks, so I know that they're going to pay those invoices, and that's going to fix the financial situation, and we're all good. I could continue buying tools and outfitting the new truck, searching for employees, and do all the things that I want to do to grow. I just need more time. So that's a good thing. Finance bucket's great. So overall, I think that's all I have for y'all today. I think a couple good points, a couple things that you might be able to improve on, areas I want to improve on. Oh, also scrolling. I did good on not scrolling this week, chasing the dopamine hit. Probably due to me being so busy, I didn't really have time to. But also in my time where I did have time of either doing something productive or wasting that 15 minutes, I think I took the productive option mostly this week, and that was pretty awesome. And looking back on it, it feels good. Feels like an achievement to not be wasting that time. And I did notice I went out to eat with a coworker tonight for dinner. And he's like, oh, have you seen the bridge? There's a bridge in somewhere that collapsed. And people, I didn't even know a thing about it. I don't watch TV. I've been cutting down on my scrolling. And I had no clue. And so I'm out of the current events or the loops of all things going on. And I think it's great. That's a good thing. I'd rather be in my business loop, my family loop, my real inner circle loop, and that's my priority. I still want to talk to you guys, and I'm going to get on social media and respond and do things like that. I didn't go into the detail last week on the 75 hard. I finished 75 hard Tuesday, which is the same day I recorded the video last week, and I think my workout was like 11 o'clock at night after I drove back from Miami. I had to do both of them that night, reading. It was a tough day, but I was not letting that day fail me. I can guarantee you that. So that was finished with success. My weight through 75 hard, I finally did. I came out and I did like a transformation post on Instagram and Facebook to try to show other people that may need motivation to take a life change and to do the work and how to do it. And I told them to reach out to me, and I listed some of the podcasts that really helped me to get my head wrapped around why I needed to make this change and help motivated me just to help motivate others. That's my whole goal behind all of this. I don't expect to be a YouTube star by any means, that's for sure, or to have any monetary gain from this. This is an investment in just picking, hopefully, some people here and there that pick this up and they can vibe with it and change their life. That's my whole goal. But anyways, a year and a half ago, I started a real casual diet because I was having some gallbladder issues, and up to 75 hard, I think it was about a year or so, I don't remember, until I started 75 hard. Yeah, about a year and a month, because it was at Thanksgiving that I had the gallbladder attack that was really bad. So about 13 months, and I think I was about 300 pounds when I started, and I lost, I think, 50 or 52 pounds. I started 75 hard at 248 pounds. I started the original, just real light, I should lose weight, I'm gonna get a little better, and I started that at 300. So we were down at 248 at the start of 75 hard. I finished 75 hard at 218, so I lost 30 pounds in those 75 days. My body, I have, I actually have biceps and I have traps, and my stomach I still have a ton of extra skin, and I have a lot of fat here still. I'll show you sitting down. So, but I am dramatically more fit. My man boobs are mostly gone. Huge transformation. Check it out on Facebook or Instagram. And anyone can do it. But I wanted to actually show you guys the details. 30 pounds through the 75 hard process. 80 pounds total so far. I would really like to get down below 200. I'd love to see 185 one day or 190 just to see what it looked like. But I know that if I keep lifting, my muscle's probably going to be, for me, somewhere in the 200 to 190 to 220 pound range, depending, how much muscle I build. That's what I'm figuring is normal. But I'd love to, on the light side, to see 185 one time in my life again. I currently now weigh as much as I weighed when I was 15 years old. This is the lightest I've been since I was 15 or 16 years old. So that's pretty cool. That's a really neat accomplishment for me. That's 23 years ago it took for me to be this light. And 218 light for me. I've always been fat. So that's really cool. I just want to tell you guys what the final results were. Also, where are we going with this? I decided, we talked about where I was going to go with the 75 hard. It ended. I don't really want to stop. I chose to move into phase 1 of the Live Hard program. That is by Andy Frisella. and it is on his website as Live Hard or 75 Hard program. You will see the Live Hard program if you Google it. Then you can read what it's all about. I opted to move into that program. I think I'm hoping to get the 30-day program done before my wife gives birth to our child. He's due in 20 days, and my 30 days will be, I think today, I have 24 days of the Live Hard program, and he's due in 20 days. So we'll see. I am not gonna push through that through my wife's childbirth and do all that nonsense. I'm gonna drop the program if she goes into labor, or we're moving into childbirth. I'm gonna drop the program and drop the crazy exercise and be there and be present. And so that means I'll have to fail, but to me it's not a fail. I got 3 more weeks of productive life in. So then I'll restart the Live Hard program later at some point, or don't. I'm gonna restart, just try to keep doing the healthy program for me, whether no title or not. So just so you're updated on that, that's where I'm going with that. And literally, I think that's it. I have no idea how long that video is, but it feels like it's plenty long enough. Catch y'all later. Thanks for watching. Press subscribe, it helps me out. And share it maybe if you think it's worth it.